So let us start with the solution for mock test number one. Okay, all the questions were based on reasoning only, so it was, so to say, a very simple mock test. Since we know now a little bit about what is mean, median, and mode, let me use this data to understand how the students have performed. Range means what? The smallest value and the greatest value, we can say range. So the smallest value, some people, they just checked and submitted. That's the reason why there were some people who scored 0 marks there. And the highest mark scored was 28 points. That means the highest mark was 28. And the median, or the middle number, so to say, the middle number there, the median was 18 points. And the average of all the students was nothing but 16 point as one. So since we have done median, that means the middle number, it was 18 point something, but the average, that means if we are to divide for each and every person, that means average was 16 points something. So if you are scoring above the median, that means somehow you know a little bit about uh, reasoning. So to say, for me, I'll say, like, if you are scoring more than 20, that's a good score. Okay. So let's start with question number one. If you look here, I've given a pie chart here. This pie chart represents how many students have attempted which option. Okay. So if you look at this blue option, blue area here, that means 58.4% attempted for Southwest. So most probably the answer will be Southwest. Let's give it a try here. So the question says, a train runs, one thing before this. This is east, this is west, this is north, and this is south. Always remember that. After doing that, let's start with this. Train runs, and whenever you are drawing a question based on distance and direction, you try to draw a little bit accurate diagram. Okay, accurate in a sense like this. Mm, if you are drawing 2 meter like this, I mean, if you are drawing 2 meter like this is 2 kilometer, let's say. Don't draw 5 kilometer like this. Remember that 5 kilometers should be longer than your 2 kilometer. That means 5 kilometers should be longer than like this, or else your diagram will be wrong. Okay, so keep that in mind. You don't need to draw exactly as a given in the scale, but we draw like that. So let's start with this. A train runs 120 kilometer to the west. That means from this point, a train is running 120 kilometer, 120 kilometer to the west. So let's stop here. This is 120, and 30 kilometer in the south direction. That means again it's going towards 30 kilometer. I'll just stop here. 30 kilometers in the south direction and 80 kilometer in the east direction. That means 80 kilometer is how much? 80 kilometer. It shouldn't reach 120. Okay, so just here I'll stop here. This is 80 kilometer. We also find what, in which direction is the station from the train's starting point. So we also find this point here, according to this one, which, where does this point lie? One thing to remember, the middle here, we call it northeast. We call this one southeast. We call between west and south, we call it southwest, and between the here, northwest. So if you look here, if it was directly down here, we can say that if the ending point was this one should be south. But since this is not direct down, what I can say is this one is southwest. So the answer here is southwest. So okay with this, let's move on to next. Next is, I think 93% gave the answer as national. So let's check which are from the given words, select the word which cannot be formed, So I'll just directly go for national and look whether that's the correct answer or not. You look here, in this national, you see zero and you don't see zero in this alternative. So which means the answer here is national. So directly, national cannot be formed because there is no zero in this word alternative. That's the reason why national is the answer there. Okay. Next question is, it is based on syllogism or syllog. Let's throw the Venn diagram. You might have learned this topic, so you might be a bit familiar with this one, or so to say, you might have mastered this. So I'll start with this statement. Some pens are pencil, so there is a sharing space between pen and pencil. There should be a sharing space between pen and pencil. No pencil is sharpener. That means there is no relation between pencil and sharpener. That's one thing we have. So let's look at the conclusion. The conclusion here is some pens being sharpener is a possibility. So in this question, we have a possibility. So remember one thing, when there is possibility, if there is no direct relation between two terms, and if possibility is used, that means that option will follow. So let us check whether there is direct relation between bend and sharpener. Bend is here, we have bend here, and we have sharpener here. Is there any direct relation between bend and sharpener? No, right? There's no direct relation between these two. If there's no direct relation, and if there is the word possibility, always remember that that option will follow. I'll just repeat again. If there is no direct relation between the two terms or the two statements, and there is a word that says possibility, that means that option will follow. Okay. Some bends being sharpener is a possibility. Possibility follows only if there is no direct relation between the two terms there. Okay. Let's check for the option number 2 there. Some sharpeners are pencils. Some sharpener we have it here are pencil. I cannot say because there is no direct relation. So which means that this statement will not follow. Why? Because the question says there no pencil is sharpener. That means there's no direct relation between pencil and sharpener. But this question says, this option says some, so which means it will not follow. So only one will follow. So let's check how many of them answered for only one. 57 point something. That means 50% of them selected the correct answer there. The next question is 50% of them chose uh, kill. So even something here. Where is this coin is made in mint? Prick something. It's this one. So nothing much there. That's just a word problem here. Many people made a mistake here of going to April here. So let's check. Yesterday. This is yesterday, and this is today, and this is tomorrow. So which means if yesterday is related to tomorrow, that means plus 1 plus 1. So, or I can say directly say that there's a plus of 2. So if there is March, then plus 2 is how much? April and May. So the answer there should be May there. Because yesterday and tomorrow relation is nothing but there's a plus of 2. That's the reason why May is the answer there, okay? So let's go to next. 79% answered correctly, but there are people who have answered incorrectly. So let's check this. For for a question like this, excuse me one second. For a question like this, like I've told you, was it me who taught this number coding? It was the other teacher, I guess. But I solved like this. What I do is I just write like this. And why I write like this is because these two are opposite to each other. A is opposite to Z, B is opposite to Y, C is opposite to X, D is opposite to W, and E is opposite to V, and so on. So which makes me easier to decode things here. So CLOCK is written as XOLXB. So you look at this. C plus how much is X? Or can I directly say that these two are opposite to each other? C and X and C and X. So which means we are following an opposite here. L and O, L and O, L and O. That means we are following opposite here. K and B, K and B. You look at this. K and B, they are opposite each other. So we have LOTUS. So opposite of L is how much? Opposite of L is O. Opposite of L is O. And opposite of O is how much? L. And opposite of D is what? Opposite of D is G. And opposite of U is what? F. And opposite of S is what? H. So OLG FH. So which is option number first one? That's the answer there. So let's go to next. Since I'll solve this way. I'll represent box as male and I'll represent circle as female. Okay. So what does the question says? Q is the son of P. Q is the Q is the son of P. For different generations, I'll write different level. So these two are in different generation because Q is a son of P. So I'm writing in different generations there. Next statement is X is a daughter of R. X is the daughter of Q. X is the daughter of Q. R is the aunt of X. R is the aunt. R is the aunt means can I write R here? R is the aunt of X because X father's sister can be called as aunt, right? So that's the reason why I'm writing R here. X here, X aunt can be X father's sister, we can call it as aunt. So that's the reason why I'm writing like that. And L is the son of R. L is the son of R. Then what is L's relation with P? That means who is L according to B? According to B, that means B is what? B is L's mother's. Uh, this gender is not given. It may be father or mother. We don't know. So what we can say is B is L's mother's parents. So according to P, who is L? L is, can I say grandson? So the answer here is grandson. I think 73% of the students select the answer as grandson there. So let's go to the next question. For some, it may be a bit surprising for this one, but we call this one as plotted chord relation. Goated plot relation, okay? So if you look here, if there's a H sign, that means P is the father of Q. And if there's a plus sign, means P is the mother of Q. And if there's a minus sign, means P is the brother of Q. And there's a star sign, means P is the sister of Q. So let us decode this data here. A plus represents what? The first one is the mother of the second one. The first one is the mother of the second one. The first one, A, is the mother of the second one. Next, if there's a H, then what is it? The first one is the father of the second one. The first one is the father of the second one. And if there's a minus sign, that means the first one is the brother of the second. The first one is the brother of the second one. What does the question say? Then A is T's what? That means who is A to D? A is the grandmother there because they are in. So D's father's mother is A. So according to D will call this A as grandmother there. So that's the answer, which is grandmother. The next question here is there was a error number here. This was not supposed to be there. There was a typing mistake there. 49 is related to 81. Can I say 49 is 7 square? And 81 is how much? Can I say it's 9 square? So 7 and 9, what's the relation? 7 plus 2 will give me 9 there. And we are asked to find 100, and we are asked to find this. 100 is what? 10 square. So 10 plus 2 is how much? Can I say 12? And what is 12 square? 12 square is nothing but 144. So the answer here is 144. Yeah, 85% gave the correct answer, which is 144 there. Next question here. We call this type of question as number analogy, okay? So here, what do we have? We have 49, we have 81, we have 121. So let's check for the relation. This is nothing but 7 square. This is nothing but 9 square. This is nothing but 11 square. So all the terms is a perfect square. So let's check for that. 144 here, this is a perfect square, this is a perfect square, this is not a perfect square. That means this will not be the option. This is a perfect square, this is a perfect square, this is not a perfect square. That means this is not the option. This is a perfect square, this is a perfect square, this is a perfect square. That means this can be an option. Let's check for the other. This is not a perfect square, this is not a perfect square, this is a perfect square, this is not an option. So without solving further, I can say that the answer here is nothing but option number, this one, which is 144 and 256, just by checking whether all the numbers are perfect square or not. Okay, so that's the answer there. Let's go to next. The next question is again Silog. Let's try. Some tires are ren rents. That means there is some area that is shared between tires and rents. Some wrens are flowers. So can I write like this? Some wrens are flowers. That means there is some area that is shared between wrens and flowers. All flowers are jungles. That means all flowers should be inside jungle. All flowers should be inside jungle. That's what it means. Okay, all flowers are jungle. All jungles are tubes. That means all jungles should be inside tubes. TUBs. So let's check for the conclusion here. 50% got the correct answer, which was the option 2, 3, and 4. Okay, let's check. Is option number 1 following? Some jungles are tires. Some jungles are tires. Is there any relation between this jungle and tires? There's no direct relation between these two, right? That means this option will not follow because there's no relation between these two. There's no direct relation. What about the other one? Some tubes are ran. Some tubes, some tubes are ran. There is some area that is shared between tube and ran. That means this option will follow. Next option is some jungles are ran. Some jungles, where is jungles? This is jungle and are ran. That means there is some area that is shared between jungles and ran. Even this option will follow. Some tubes are flowers. Where is tube? Some tubes are flower. That means there is some area that is covered by flower inside the tube. Yes, we can say that. That means this option will follow. So only 2, 3, and 4 will follow. That's the answer there. Okay. So 50% gave the answer correctly. So next question is, this is a very interesting question. We see this type of question a lot in NBSC as well as NSSB. Okay. It's a blood relation, but indirect blood relation. Introducing John Duquesne. John Duquesne. That means John is introduced by someone. Steve said. That means Steve is introducing John there. Her father. Okay, her father. So which means John here, the statement here refers her. That means John is a female there. Okay. John, her, because of this statement here, her father. That means this, her father, John's father. That's what it means. Her father is the only son of my father. This father here, John's father, is the only son of my father. So remember one thing when you see this statement here. When we see only son or only daughter, that means in that case, himself, the speaker there is referring to himself or herself. Okay. That means he only son means this Steve here is nothing but Steve here. This is Steve there. So her father is the only son of my father. So only son means this is the father here. So what is asked? How is John related to Steve? How is John? This is John related to Steve. So according to Steve, who is John? John is, can I say it's a daughter only? So the answer here is daughter. So how many of them got daughter there? So 30% of it. But actually, in this case, there's also another case that can be created. Another case is this way. Uh, it can be created. John here is a daughter of this one, and this her father is the only son of my father. That means, can I say this is Steve? But Steve should be female here. But like I've told you earlier, we applied this rule here. Many students will go see. Look at this. 52% went for the answer as niece here. If this was Steve, according to Steve, John will be niece. 100% sure that is correct. But in this kind of statement, what we do is when we talk about only son or only daughter, remember that speaker is referring to himself or herself. Okay, that's the reason why the answer here is daughter there. Okay, clear with that? Let's move on to next. The next here word here is, what is it? LOWER is written as WOR LE. Okay, so there's a crossing going on because all the words are same. So when you before solving coding decoding, what you need to look is whether there is a change, whether all the numbers are changed or not. You look here, all the numbers are all the alphabets are the same thing, so which means there's a crossing here. R goes here, W goes here, O goes here. So can I say like this? The second term remains a constant. So you look at the second term here, second term here, that means it's not remaining the constant. Second term here, second term here, this may be the option. Second term here, second term here, this may be the option. Second term here, second term here, that means this may be the option. Let's check for the first term. First term is what? First term here is the third word of the first part will be the first letter. First, second, third, O. O starts with this one. So this may be the option. I'm not sure. So let's check for the other one. The third word here is the starting of this one. What about this? The third word here, is it the starting of this one? No, I've eliminated the option there. What about the next here? Uh, the last second letter E is sent to this one. So the last second letter here is N. It should end with N here. The second letter here is D, and it's ending with this one. So this is the answer there. So just by option elimination, we can solve this without going further. That was a very simple question there. Okay, the next question is this. It's a number series based question. So this was an extra number there. So we have 14, 21, we have 30, we have 41, and we have 54. Let's check. Since the number is increasing slowly, let's check for the sum. How many? I think 82% gave for 69. So most probably 69 should be answer. Let's check. 14 plus how much is 21? 14 plus 7. And 21 plus how much is 30 plus 9. And 30 plus how much is 41? 11. And 41 plus how much is 54? 41 plus 13. So next number, if you look at the numbers here, 7, 9, 11, 13. Can I say it's an odd number? Every term there is an increase of odd number. So plus 9 plus 11 plus 13. Next number is plus 15. So 54 plus 15, which is 9. It should end with 9. So which means the only option here, these options are eliminated. So directly the answer there is 69 there. What about the next here? The next number here, we have 512, 729, question mark, 1331, 1728. Okay, it's a perfect perfect cube number. Yeah. So in NSSP especially, they use this type of question a lot. Perfect square, perfect cube number. Okay. What is 512? 512 is nothing but 8 cube. What about this one? 729. Can I say this 9 cube? We don't know. What about this? 1331, it's 11 cube. So what's the missing number here? 8, 9, this is 10. 10 cube. What's the 10 cube there? 10 cube is 1000. So the answer here is 1000 there. I hope everyone got the answer. Oh, it's 66% only. It's just surprising to get that value there. I'm pretty sure that these people here who went for 998, it was a case scam there, I guess. So let's go to next. This number was also extra there. 1, 4, 10, 22, and 46. So if you look here, there's a slow increase, or can I say into 2 plus 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 plus 2. Every term has into 2 plus 2, I guess. Can I say like that? 1 into 2 plus 2 will give me 4. 4 into 2 plus 2 will give me 10. 10 into 2 plus 2 will give me 22. And 22 into 2 is 44 plus 2 will give me 46. So which means 46 into 2 plus 2 will give me the answer. 6 into 2, 6 to the 12, 2, 1 in hand. And 4 is 8, 9 plus 2, which is equal to 94. The answer here is 94. So 83% got the correct answer. Next. Okay, there's a division here. Everyone is getting different answer here. So in order to approach, I think it was, no question was asked last year, but it was in the year 2022, I guess. There was some question based on this type in NBSE. So what's the word here? We have triangles, we have scalene triangles, we have right angle triangles. So one thing to keep in mind is the parent here is triangle. Under triangle, there should be scalene triangle and right angle triangle. But remember one thing, some what do we mean by scalene triangle? Scalene triangle means no sides are same. That means if this is 2, this is 4, and this one is 3. Just for an just for an assumption, let me just use like this. If no sides of a triangle are same, we call that as a scalene triangle. What do we mean by right angle triangle? Right angle triangle means if one of the angle is 90 degrees. So some scalene triangles are right angle triangle. You need to know that. Why? Because see the numbers that I've used here, the set of numbers that I've used here is these are Pythagoras triplet. So you might know Pythagoras theorem. So there are some numbers 5, 12, and 13. These are also Pythagoras triplet. That means if one of the side, this one is 13, this one is 12, then this should be 5. So these are Pythagoras triplet. So some right angle triangles maybe scalene triangle. So what I'll do is some right angle triangles maybe like this. So this may be my possible answer. So let's cross check. Do we have, yeah, we have option number E there, which is exactly the same as this one. So the answer here is option number E. 37% got the answer is this one. So which is the correct answer, which is E there. Okay. What about the next question here? The next question here is it's a very simple question. Identify the region represents students who study biology and computer. That means the area that is covered by biology and computer, but not mathematics. So the area that is covered by mathematics should not be included, but it should be covered by, what is it? Biology and computer. So can I say this area here? What is it? 7 is the answer there. So 85% got the correct answer. Since the question says who studies biology and computer, that means the area that is covered by biology and computer. Biology is this one and computer is this one. So this is the area that is covered by biology and computer. So the correct answer there is 7. Okay, we have an inequality question. We see inequality question based question in NBSC, I mean NSSB. So this mock test was somehow a little bit based on NSSB only, okay? A little bit focused on NSSB. So let's check this C and E. Okay, we have three things here. A is greater than P is greater than T, and D is greater than E, and E is greater than F, and D is greater than C. So what's the relation E and C? Where is E and where is C? E is here and C is here. What's the relation between E and this one? D is greater than E, and D is also greater than C. I cannot combine these two equations. D is greater than E and D is greater than C. I cannot combine these two equations. Or I cannot find a relation between, I don't know whether E is greater than C. Why? Because this two statements says just that D is greater than E and D is greater than C. It doesn't say anything about E and C, so which means this conclusion will not follow. So this option is eliminated, this option is eliminated. Either one or two will follow, or this option, let's not eliminate this for once. Let's check for the next. F and B. Where's F? F is this. Where is B? B is this. First statement, B is greater than D, and next statement, D is greater than F. D greater than combined together. Can I say greater than there? So which means D is greater than F. So I can combine these two. Why? Because B is greater than D and D is also greater than F. So I can say that B is greater than F. But what does the question say is F is greater than B, which is not following. So which means neither conclusion 1 nor 2 will follow there. So which 46% got the correct answer there. Let's check for the next. What is the angle between the clock hand at 8:30? I'll just directly give you a formula for this. Let's not do too much calculation regarding this type of question. If angle is asked, you use this formula. 30 and R given minus 11 by 2 and minutes given. So 30 into what's the R here? 8 minus 11 divided by 2 into what's a minute given here? 30 minutes. So 2 into 15. So 8 3s are 24. 240 minus, if I multiply this, 5 and 6 and 165. So 240 minus 165, I'll subtract this one, 5 here. And what is the value here? 20, which is 20, 14, 13. 13 minus 6 is 7. So which means our answer here is 75 degree. So the answer here is 75. 54% got, 56.4% got correct answer, which is 75% there. And I'll give you another approach question as well. And since we are discussing based on clock, if you are asked to find the mirror image of 8:30. If asked mirror image, always do like this. We know 12 o'clock. Can I write 12 o'clock as like this? 11:60. Because after 11:59, next comes 12 o'clock. And in place of 12 o'clock, what we can do is 11:60, just 1 minute ahead of. If from 11:59, if I plus 1 minute, it will give me 12 o'clock. Or from 11:59, if I plus 1, I can say that it is 11:60 also. So from using this 11:60, from this 11:60, you subtract the time given in the question, okay? From 11:60, from this 11:60, you subtract this one. So the mirror image of 8:30 will be nothing but 30, and what is it? Uh, 11 minus 8 will be how much? 11 minus 8. Can I say 3 there? So which means the mirror image of 8:30 is nothing but 3:30. So that's the answer there. So if mirror image asks, then you can solve like that. Next question here. 8 friends, this one are sitting as regular apple. So NSSB, they ask a lot of question based on sitting arrangement, especially circular arrangement. So I've increased the number of students here. I mean, number of people here. Most of the time in exam, what we see is we see 6 number of people. So let's try to do something that is a bit tougher, which if you're solving only less number, it will be easier. If you have solved the higher number of people, we have 8 friends here. So I'll just write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Facing center, that means if they are looking inside this. I'll give you a trick how to solve sitting arrangement, or it may be distance, direction, anything, okay? Whenever you are solving this kind of topic, always remember, you just assume yourself sitting there. You imagine yourself sitting there. If you imagine yourself sitting here and looking inside, you can directly say that this is your right and this is your left. If you imagine yourself sitting here, you can directly say that this is your left and this one is your right. So you just imagine yourself sitting there, which will make your solution a bit easier, much more easier, okay? Let's start with this statement. D sits third to the left of A. If this is A, looking inside, that means left side. First, second, and third. D sits third to the left of A. Next, E sits to the immediate right of A. If this is A, then this is right and this is left, right? So right side immediate means just next to E. A is E there. That's what the statement says. Next, B is third to the left of D. B is third to the left of D. So if you imagine yourself sitting here, this will be your right side and this will be your left. The question says B is third to the left of D. First, second, and third, which is B there. B is first, second, third to the left of D. G is second to the right of B. G is second. If you imagine yourself sitting here, looking inside, that means this is your left and this is your right. So what is it? G is second to the right of B. First, second. This is G here. G is second to the right of B. C is the immediate neighbor of B. So if this is B, the immediate neighbor, the left side is being filled. There's one space here. That means this should be filled by C because the question says C is an immediate neighbor of B. What is left here? C is third to the left of H. C is third to the left of H. If I put H here, what will be, this will be the left side here. This side will be the left, first, second, third. So H should be placed here. I cannot put H here. Why? Because first, second, third place has been taken by G there. That's the reason why I'm not putting H here, okay? So what is left now? A, B, C, D, E, F. F is left out. What is asked? Where's the question? Oh, okay. The question here is, who among the following is exactly between F and D? F and D. F and D, can I say H is between F and D? Because F is here and D is here. So the answer here is H here. Let's go to the next. The question here says, study the arrangement carefully. And the next is, how many consonants are there in the above arrangement, each of which is immediately preceded by a number, but not immediately followed by a number? So what I'll do is I'll just find out consonants that is being preceded by a number. Or can we just select some consonants here, consonants here, and we have one more, 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 we have one more here, we have one more here, we have one more here, and we have one more here, we have one more here, we have one more here, we have one more, and another one and another one. Let's start the option elimination. Immediately preceded by a number. So this number, there is no preceding, that means this cannot be used. Immediately preceded, that means just before the letter there should be a number. This is also not an option. Immediately before this, is there a number? No. Immediately before this, is there a number? No. Immediately before this, is there a number? Yes. So this can be an option. So I'll just make a box like this for once. Immediately before this, is there a number? No. Immediately before this, is there a number? No. Immediately before this, no. Is there a number before this? No. If there is there a number before this? Yes. This can also be an option. Immediately before this or preceded by this one? No. Is there a number? No. Is there a number? Yes. This can be the option as well. Is there a number? No. Is there a number? No. Is there a number? No. So we have three options here. What is it? Immediately preceded by a number, but not immediately followed by a number. Preceded by a number, followed by a number. Not possible. Preceded by a number, followed by a number. Not possible. So we just have only one option, which is one is the answer. I'm surprised to see that only 40% got the correct answer of this. Because these things, though, no teacher will teach. This is just IQ question only. You just need to count more steady. So what's the question here? Using the above data, which of the following is 10th from the right? So I'll just write like this. 10th, 10th, oh wait, 10th to the right of the 19th from the right. Okay, I got the answer. From the right, from the 19th term, and from this 19th term, you need to find the 10th term there. So let's, if I'm to simplify this, I can say like this. A is 19th from the right end, and we need to find who is sitting 10th to the right of A. 10 to the right of A. So what I can do is I can do like this. 19 minus 10, which will give me 9 there. So from the right end, if I count it till 9, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and 9. This is the answer there. So D should be the answer there. But let me simplify that, because for some who knows, you may not follow this. If you're not following this, easiest approach is this way. I hope this one, though, any student will follow this. From you start from this 19 from the right end, so you count till 19. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 and 19. This is the 19th term, and we need to find 10 to the right of that. 10 to the right for 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. So 10 to the right of that is D there. So that's how you can find. Okay, I think we are coming to an end. How many questions are left? Wow, 7 questions. Oh, around 6 questions. We are coming to an end. The next question here is, in a row of letter, a letter is fifth from the left hand. That means there is a row of letter, and shall I assume A there is fifth from the left hand? Fifth from the left hand. That means if count from left side, it is fifth. This is 12 from the right hand. If counted from right, this is 12th position. How many letters are there in the row? So if you have done auto and ranking, you can directly do like this: 12 plus 5, which is equal to 17. But remember, you need to subtract 1 there, which is 16. 16 is the answer there. Why 16? Because 12 and 5 here. This fifth term includes A as well, and this 12th term includes A as well. So we are counting A two times. So if I count A two times, I'm getting 17. So I need to count only one time because we have only one letter there. A is only one letter there. So that's the reason why we subtract one, which gives us our answer is that one. Okay. See, look at this. 21% got the answer is 17. Why? Because they forgot to subtract this. Why do we subtract one? Because we are counting A two times here. We are counting A when we are counting from the left side, and when you're counting from the right side also we are counting once, but A is only once. That's the reason why we are subtracting one there. Okay, let's go to next. So it's a very simple question. I think 79% got the answer correct. Oh, it's a very simple question here. Anil is, I think A is fine. Anil is taller than Sunny, and Sunny is shorter than Baby. Anil is taller than Pose. Okay, Baby. I'll write this. Anil is taller than Pose, whose height is less than Sunny. Okay, see, this whose represents, we are talking about this person here. Okay, Anil is taller than Pose, but Pose, whose height is less than, what is it, Sunny. That means Pose height is less than Sunny. That's what this statement says. Baby is shorter than Anil. That means Baby here, can I write here? Baby here, that means it's shorter than Anil. So what is the given term here? Sunny is taller than Pose. That means Sunny is taller than Pose. We just have this term. So we are asked to find the shortest person here. The shortest person here is Pose. So the answer there is Pose. Let's go to next. Next question. 94% got the answer is correct. I wonder why those people who got the wrong answer. You look at this. Can this be the option? No. Why? Because we are inserting here. So this will not be the option. Can this be the option? There is a line here. That means there is no line here. That means this is not the option. Can this be an option? Yes, maybe. Can this be an option? Yes, maybe. But look at the line. Line is going through this and is going through this. That means this option. So option number D is the answer there. So those are just child's play. Yeah. Which of the following calendar will be same as a calendar for the year 2003? 2003. Okay, 2003. I'll give you a trick here. Only 49% got it correct. So the leap year leap year will always repeat after 28 years. Leap year calendar, that same calendar will repeat only after 28 years. Okay, but if leap year plus one, leap year plus the next year, that means we know that 2004 is a leap year. When when we talk about 2005, that means this is a leap year plus 1 year. That means this 2005 calendar will repeat after 6 years. That means leap year plus next year that calendar will repeat after 6 years. And leap year plus 2 years. That means, can I say this 2006? This calendar will repeat after how many years? 11 years. So leap year plus 2 years calendar will repeat after 11 years. Same thing. Leap year plus 3 years calendar will repeat after 11 years. So these two are same. What do we need to find? We need to check 2003. 2003. So how do we check whether a year is a leap year or not? So you take the last two number. So let me take one number, 2024, 2024. Let's check 2024. You take the last two number and you divide it by 4. Why 4? Because leap year repeats after 4 years. That's the reason why. 4 into 4, 6 are 24. Since this is completely divisible, we say 2024 is a leap year. If the last two digits of the year is completely divisible, we say that that year is a leap year. So what's the last 2 year here? We have last two digits, or let me take one more example because I'm not satisfied with that. Let's say I have 2025 here, this year. So if we are talking about 2025, I'll take the last two number, 25. 4, 6 are 24. The remainder here is 1. So the remainder here is 1 means leap year plus 1. Leap year plus 2024 was a leap year and plus 1 year is 2025. That means 2025 is not a leap year, but it's a leap year plus 1 year. We have 03 here. You take the last two number. We have 03. Can this number be divisible by 4? 4, not divisible. 4 zeros are 0 only, 3 here. So the remainder here is 3. So leap year plus 3 year. So leap year plus 3 years calendar is how much? 11. So 2003 calendar will be repeated after 11 years plus 11 years. So 3 plus 1 is 4, 1. It will repeat in the year 2014 there. So the answer there is 2014. Are we clear with this? So you try to memorize this. This is important, or else you won't be able to solve this. Okay. Next, it's a very simple question here. It's a simplification only. A means plus, B means negative, C means into, D means divide. So C, 18, C means into, 14, A means plus, 6, B means what? B means minus, 16, D means divided by 4. So let's find this. 4 4s are 16. So 18 into 14, let's multiply this. 8 4s are 32. 32. I'll just use that one digit rule. Plus 6 minus 4 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. One digit should end with 4. So you look at this 8 8 here. So the answer will be 2. This one 254. Just by one digit. So if you multiply this one also, you'll get the correct answer into 14. 4 is already 2, 3, 9, 4 ones are 4, 7, and 1, 8. So if you solve this one, 14, 15, 5, 1 in hand, 252 plus 2, which is 254. But what I did here was I just used unit digit rule, which gave me the answer much more faster. And yeah, many students were confused regarding this question. Definitely you should be confused because I gave the wrong question and the wrong option. So actually this one here, it was about the number of triangles. But the question here was find the minimum number of straight lines. If you were to find minimum number of, I'll discuss both the questions here. Because so to say, which means this question was wrong. Okay. So if you were asked to find the straight line, number of straight line required, you might remember me discussing this. If you are to find straight line, there is one vertical line, there is horizontal line, and there is slant line. So how many vertical lines are there? There is 1 and 2. There is 2 vertical lines. And how many horizontal lines are there? There is 1, 2, and 3. There is 3 horizontal lines. And how many slant line or line that is slant a little bit? 1, 2, 3, and 4. There is 4. So if we sum this, it will be 9. So this minimum number of straight line required to get this shape is 9. But the option here was given in terms of triangles. So if you were asked to find then the number of triangles in this shape, then it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We know a rule. What was the rule that we know? If there is a square shape like this, then what do? We just number it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the highest number value is 6. You multiply by 2, then 6 is 12. In this square, there is 12 triangles there. And what about this? In this shape here, I can say 1, 2. So if you have a triangle like this, what do? We just plus the term, right? 1 plus 2. So 1 plus 2, which is equal to 3. There's 3 triangles in this shape. But remember, there's some triangles that we have left out. The triangles are, this is one triangle, and this is another triangle. So there is plus 2, plus 2. So if you sum this, 12 plus 2 is 15, 15 plus 2 is 17. So the answer was 17. Since the question was wrong, that's the reason why many people got the answer is wrong. So that's the answer there, okay? So that question was wrong. I hope, yeah, this is the last answer, finally. In a dice type of question, what do? There are many rules to solve, but the simple trick is what is asked? Opposite side of 3. You take a cube which has 3 in that cube. And you can take either this one or this one. Anyone? Can I take this two? So same side rule. I'll apply same side rule, okay? You look at this, you have 4 here, you have 4 here, you have 4 here. You have 2 here, you have 2 here. If you have 2 common side, always remember that the other side will be opposite to that number given there. So the opposite of 3 is nothing but 5. That's the answer. Yeah, that was the end of our mock test question. We have another mock test coming up tomorrow based on quants. Be ready with that. There are 50 questions, and there all the most of the types of question that can be asked from quants are there in the questions in the mock test. So give it a try and know your uh, strong points and your weak points. If you know some topics are weak point for you, then you study those topics better. So for that reason, I came up with that mock test. Okay, so give it a try tomorrow.